new Clash-A-Rama season brings temporary troops and army camp changes, which I'm going to explain to you in this video, alongside the season calendar, so you know all of the events happening this month, and I'll showcase the new skins and scenery. Let's begin with the monthly calendar though. Throughout the month, we will have the season challenges, the silver and the gold pass. From the 1st to the 7th, we have the everything bootcamp. So this is the combination of the gold elixir and dark elixir bootcamps, 25% off all upgrade timers, but remember that does not include walls since there's no upgrade time, and temporary content. We then have controllable hero challenges, so there will be multiple of them. The first one actually releases the 2nd of the month. There's a typo here. Clan War Leagues then from the 1st to the 11th. Again, that's because there's a couple of days that you get as a clan to sign up, and then it is a 1-week event. The next thing happening though is on the 8th of the month, the Splash Bash Medal event. I'll bring you a sneak peek video for that here on the channel, but there will be an epic piece of equipment this time around for the Grand Warden. Obviously, I'll break that all down for you at the time. Clearly, it's going to be Clash-A-Rama themed. And we also, on the 13th of the month, have the Hero Rush Clan event. So when I interviewed David, the product manager, on my second channel, he did say we would be seeing the Gold Rush event again sometime soon, just with a different twist. So obviously, if you enjoyed the Gold Rush event first time around, you can expect something similar and even improved this time. Obviously, when it comes to the calendar and the skin and scenery showcases, I normally bring those on my second channel, Judo Sloth 2, but since it was lumped together in a sneak peek with the temporary troop and army camp changes, that's why I wanted to bring it on my main channel this time around. On the 22nd of the month, we then have the clan games, which will be Clash-A-Rama themed, but fairly standard in that regard. That is everything for the calendar. Moving to the cosmetics though, the first hero skin available will be for the Royal Champion within the Gold Pass. This is the Clash-A-Rama Champion, and you can see the art style perfect for the episodes as well. I will be showing you gameplay of all of the hero skins, but I like to go through them in the order that they are available. Obviously, as soon as you get the gold pass, you will unlock the Clash-A-Rama Champion. If you are purchasing the gold pass, you can support a creator beforehand by pressing the C and entering their code. My code is Judo, and it helps to support the channel massively. And you can also do this on the Supercell store, which remember, there is a community event happening right now where we can get some extra rewards. So I would definitely head over there. Even if you're not purchasing the gold pass, make sure to claim those. But if you are purchasing over there for some extra gems, be sure to use a creator's code there as well. When it comes to attacks for the Royal Champion, the animation is very subtle. It does have that cartoon vibe. The best part for me is the Seeking Shield with the glowing effect, even though I never use that piece of equipment, so I'll probably never get to witness that. Adding a bit of character to the knockdown animation as well, reaching for her spear, but being a gold pass skin, it's not quite as impressive as the legendary ones. So let's move on to those. The first one that is available is for the Archer Queen on the 5th of August. The Clash-A-Rama Queen, again, perfectly matching the Clash-A-Rama style, obviously, with all of the birthday balloons, since this is a Clashiversary celebration. But when it comes to the attacks, it steps it up a notch from the Royal Champion. A nice little smoke effect when you first deploy the Archer Queen. Fairly standard in terms of her shooting the arrows, but as they connect to the target, you see the smoke and it getting blown up, so it's very easy to track your Archer Queen. And also when it comes to the knockdown animation, I like that it's fairly subtle, because at that point, you don't need to know where your Archer Queen is unless you're planning to use a revive spell. But I like how there are effects there. She's obviously very confused, but it's not like with the Cyber set where there was like flashing and blinking going on, even though the hero is downed in an area. Next up though, we have the Clash-A-Rama King on the 7th of August. Clearly from the selection screen, showcasing that this is a celebration for the 13th Clashiversary. And I have to say that for all of these, I love the art style, and I'm glad that it's just a different version of the default. When it comes to using the Barbarian King, just like the Archer Queen, I really like the special effects we have for the attack animations. The Barbarian King nutting buildings as well. You'd think I'd been in a fight with the Barbarian King, I mentioned in the last video, but I took quite a knee to the face in Judo, so hence the black eye, just in case anyone's wondering. But I do like the effects on this because, again, it's so clear to see where the Barbarian King is. Nothing special when it comes to, like, using the ability. That's exactly the same for the Archer Queen as well, by the way. But again, the knockdown animation, very subtle. The king quivering in fear, but I think the art style is just perfect. Next up, on the 9th of August, is the Clash-A-Rama Warden. Maybe I'm biased, but I just think it's so refreshing to see the default skins again, rather than each month. Like, the skins have been getting fantastic, but they just get more extravagant every single month. Whereas it's cool to kind of come back to basics with this. Selection animation, as you've seen, looked awesome. When it comes to using the Grand Warden in attack, there's no difference between ground and air. Exactly the same when it does come to the default skin, or like the default Grand Warden. I know it's not a skin, but you get what I mean. Some of the skins have different animations for ground and air. This one just has that flame effect, firing at the buildings. Cool effects. Again, very clear to see what's going on. And as for the knockdown animation, again, I like how subtle it is. I like how the book is just like laid open there. And as you can tell, I don't really have a lot of complaints when it comes to these hero skins. I think they're fantastic. On the 11th of August, we will then have the Clash-A-Rama Minion Prince. Clearly has a bit of a crush on the Archer Queen. Again, very clear that it's celebrating the 13th Clashiversary. That is why we have this Clash-A-Rama theme. It's obviously very popular, and as you've seen from the calendar, there's a lot going on this month to celebrate Clash of Clans' birthday. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. We do only have a small percentage of viewers subscribed to the channel, but obviously I will be bringing you sneak peek content for all of the things that I have mentioned. As you might have gathered from looking at the attack animations of the other heroes, it's just the case of the Minion Prince default skin. It has the same attack animation, but it's just emphasized. A lot more electricity, very easy to see. Nothing special when it comes to the Dark Orb ability. That almost looks a little bit out of place compared to how electric everything else is. But for the knockdown animation, I find this one kind of funny as he's just floating there all confused. But let's move across to the scenery, because this one is awesome. You might think it looks fairly basic, but that's because this is not the paid scenery. I'm going to get to that. The classic scenery for all players from the 1st of August to the 13th of August is going to be Clash-A-Rama-fied. Maybe I have a lot of novelty bias in this, but I think that looks better than the classic scenery. The waterfall just looks amazing. Maybe it's just because it's different, and that is definitely the case when it comes to the 13th Clashiversary scenery. This will be available from the 3rd of August. You can see the Clash-A-Rama theme on the outside, but what is great about this scenery is as I start to zoom out, you can zoom out a lot more than regular sceneries. And as you move around the scenery, there's obviously a lot of story being told, a lot of reference to some of the Clash-A-Rama episodes, and as you continue to look at it, the base continues to fall apart. My favorite part of it being that we can actually see inside a gold mine to the right side of the base as that sinkhole opens up, and you can notice, is that our 7th builder down there just lazing around, enjoying all of that gold? Or wait a second, maybe that's why we trapped him at the bottom of the ocean. Either way, there is so much happening with this scenery, even the arena for you Clash Royale fans. But let's move across to the obstacles, the free 13th cake, and also the super deco for this month. Being Clash-A-Rama themed, that is why the 13th Clashiversary cake looks as it does. These will gradually spawn in your home village, so I would make sure to keep one of them as a souvenir. Even use a shovel of obstacles so you can move them around and not accidentally remove them. The final cosmetic, before I go over the temporary troops and army camps, it's the Super Deco, and this one is available in the medal event, which as you've seen on the season calendar, begins on the 8th of the month. Moving to the temporary troops then, this first batch will see the Azure Dragon given to you for free in your army. The level of this troop, like any temporary troop, is based on your town hall level. So it's not like you level this up in the laboratory or anything like that. It basically scales up over to level 12 at Town Hall 17. This will be the case from August the 1st through August the 10th. Because this is just added to your army, there is one primary way that you should use it. The Azure Dragon works very similar to the Super Dragon. They are both 40 housing space. The Azure Dragon, whilst it has the same hit points, actually has slightly better damage per second, even though it's got slightly lower movement speed. But essentially, it's a perfect comparison. The main difference is that the Super Dragon, when it splashes to a building, will splash sideways onto connecting buildings, whereas the Azure Dragon can only hit one target, but it can actually fire through that and splash onto buildings that are up to a 2-tile gap behind it. You might have guessed it, but what this means is you should use it for funneling. A lot of times you might take a baby dragon or a yeti in order to just funnel 1 or 2 buildings and make sure that your troops do go into the base. You are given the Azure Dragon in order to do that. Now, this is only for multiplayer battles. You won't get this extra troop when it comes to clan wars, and the reason you are given the Azure Dragon is to counteract the army camps. There are 3 previous temporary troops hidden inside the piñatas. Now, there are only 3 of them, so 1 army camp is just the usual, but in order to make it not quite as annoying, you can actually see what is inside each of these buildings. So first up, the party wizard. This is probably the least annoying because it's essentially just a defending wizard. It's a little bit faster than a regular wizard, but that's it. You then have the ice wizard. This one definitely becomes a little bit more annoying because it will slow down your troops. It does not freeze them altogether, but it slows them down. Now, should you be using like the electro boots on the royal champion or something, you don't really have to worry about any of these. It'll just vaporize the troops like nothing. But should you be doing a warden walk or something like that, they can certainly be a bit more annoying. Probably the most irritating, though, is the Broom Witch, because this is not a singular troop like the 2 wizards. It spawns the witch spirits. Whilst it is somewhat nerfed when it comes to the army camp, because the witch spirits deal 4 times damage to defenses, that is clearly not going to happen when it comes to your troops. But just the fact that there are multiple troops bouncing around, and then even once you take the witch spirit down, or the Broom Witch down, sorry, it then spawns all of these witch spirits. So this is definitely the one to look out for a little bit more, but I don't think you'll have any major issues. Probably one of the more annoying things is if your troops start chasing one of these troops and go off track from where you were planning, but hopefully with the Azure Dragon, that's why it's there, in order to offset that. Be sure to stay tuned to the channel for the rest of the Clashiversary content, and if you do want to see my recently released 100 days pay-to-play video, we had over 700 hours of collective work in that one. I bought every special offer for 100 days. You can see how much progress I made. I've popped that one on your screen. Enjoy the rest of your day.